Before we start with January TBR jar polls, I do want to talk briefly about the St. Martin's Press boycott that is going on and a role that I inadvertently played in promoting books published under St. Martin's and their imprints. It was brought to my attention on the 24-hour reading challenge video that I posted that I did discuss a book published under St. Martin's or one of their imprints, and at the time I was truly not aware of what was going on with that boycott. Ignorance is bliss. I have, of course, conducted some research, and you can find some TikToks that I found below regarding the boycott and why it's going on. You can also look to Readers for Accountability for more information about what is going on. Regardless, I played a role in supporting a publishing house that has hurt people, and I don't want to do that moving forward. And so I will no longer be discussing books by St. Martin's or their imprints until St. Martin's basically responds to the calls for action that are out there. I have privated the videos in which I discussed St. Martin's and their imprints. I think that I've covered everything that I need to cover for the beginning of this, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the TBR. I have 9 books to share with you today. There are 10 books on my TBR for January. We are only talking 9 because one of them was published by Minotaur. Yep, Minotaur, and we are supporting the boycott of St. Martin's Press on this channel. My name is Brittany. Welcome if you're new. I have 302 books on my TBR. Those encompass both physical and ebooks. Most of my library is a physical library. I did recently start building up my Kindle library, but the majority of the books that you will see on this channel are going to be me trying to work down my physical TBR. That way I can decide what books I'm going to sell on my Pango shop as time goes on. And you know, I only have so much room on my shelves. Obviously, physical books take up a lot of space. Anyway, we're going to talk about the books today. We did the TBR jar pool. By the way, I made a TBR jar in one of my videos. If you'd like to check that out, you can find it linked below or in the cards up above my head somewhere. We did the TBR jar pools off camera. That is largely because, to the fullest extent possible, I am trying to keep my children off of this channel. Sometimes it is hard because my youngest really loves to be near me. I also did not want to put pressure on my husband to be in my YouTube videos if he's not comfortable with that, and he did come and visit me for Christmas, so we did the pools while he was here. It was really a great time, but no pressure for him to be on here. I know that being on camera can be intimidating for people. It is especially intimidating for me to try to talk on camera in front of other people, including my children, which is so awkward and weird. That's why I do it when they're not here to the fullest extent possible, you know? Anyway, let's get started. I am a notorious mood reader, but because of the size of my physical TBR, I need to get it under control. And in order to do that, I did the TBR jar, we did the pulls. I am going to pull between 8 and 10 books every month to try to read 100 books this year. 2 of the books that I am going to talk about today have been featured previously on this channel, and that's because during fall, I didn't get to them. I read a lot of Kindle Unlimited books that I kind of prioritized over my physical books, and we're trying not to do that this year. So only 2 of the 15 books that I prioritized for fall didn't make it through to the end of the year, and we're going to talk about those just very briefly before we talk about the remaining books. The books that I did not get to are both Book of the Month books. I have You Again by Kate Goldbeck. I don't know a ton about it. I just have heard from everybody that it is a When Harry Met Sally retelling, and I have not ever seen that movie, but I do like romance, so maybe this will be a good one for me. Hopefully I enjoy it. It does seem a little thick, but it should be okay. Next up, we have Elisa Jewell, Invisible Girl. I don't go into Lisa Jewell books knowing what they're about. It just ruins the fun for me, so I'm not going to look into this, but I have Elisa Jewell. This is just a Thrills and Chills book of the month that I got as an add-on one month, and I have not gotten to it. Don't ask me why. But Kate Goldbeck was September 2023, so it's not quite as extensively backlisted as some of my Book of the Month books that you will see in this TBR video, but it is still one that I haven't quite caught up on yet. I am notorious for ordering my Book of the Month books and then just putting them on my shelf and never getting to them, so that is kind of also what I'm trying to work on. First up out of the jar, we pulled The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. Another Lisa Jewell. I know that this is a start to a series. I don't know what it's about. I love Lisa Jewell. I will buy anything that she writes. And so this was one that I got in November of 2019. I purchased this through Book of the Month too. It wasn't like I just found it at the library and was like, oh, it's a Book of the Month for me to add to my shelf. Let me just buy it. No, I bought this in 2019 and just never got to it. We're gonna get to it in 2024. That is fine. We also pulled The Golden Hour. This is a June 2019 book that I know that I got through Book of the Month. I don't typically gravitate toward historical fiction. This one's set in 1941 in the Bahamas. If I see a historical fiction that captures my eye like this one, the cover is so stunning, I am going to get it because I really want to be a historical fiction girly and I'm just not. So hopefully this one will not lead me wrong. Brittany from Rescues and Reads, if you are watching this, have you read it? I know that you're a historical fiction girly. Did you like this? Please let me know. I'm desperate for your opinion. We also have a book that I just happened to pull off for a video idea that I have this month. It is one that I bought from my library that is also a Book of the Month. It's from 2020. I don't know why I didn't get it in 2020. Something else must have been just more captivating and important for me. That is People Like Her by Ellery Lloyd. This is about a momfluencer and it's a thriller and I'm very, very, very excited for it. I did spend a little bit more at my library for this one. Normally at the library, I only buy books that are $1 or less. This one was $4, but it's in excellent condition and it is a newer release, so I'm not mad about it. Hopefully I like it. You will see in one of my vlogs that's upcoming. And that is it for the Book of the Month. I do have one more, but it was published by Minotaur. We're not talking about it. My son pulled My Favorite Sister by Jessica Knoll from the jar. This is library covered, so you'll see the glare on it. I bought it for $1 at my library. I read The Luckiest Girl Alive by Jessica Knoll and I really liked it. And I watched the movie and liked it. So I am very excited to read more from her. I don't want to know what this is about, so I'm not going to look into it. My friends, we talk about this all the time. I don't want to know what a book is about because I will try to guess every step of the way what is going to happen next, and I don't need to know what the book is about before I go into it. I buy books based on their covers because I am that person. Sorry about it. I'll read like the first line of the book and that's it, and then we're moving on. We have 3 books left. I have one more thriller and then there are 2 YAs that made the cut this month. I have The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I have read The Guest List by Lucy Foley and The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley and I loved those books. She does really, really interesting thrillers that feature like a wide cast of people and I very, very, very much find that I enjoy that, so I am very excited to read this. The Socialite, The Nice Guy, The Alcoholic, The Girl on the Verge, and The Concierge, that seems to be the main cast of characters. Very, very excited for this. I know that I've seen a lot of mixed reviews about it. I think I'm gonna try to borrow it from Libby or use my Spotify audio book so I can read this one via listening as well, because I've read the other 2 Lucy Foley books via audiobook and I really, really enjoyed it. We've got 2 YAs. One of them is a thriller. One of them I would describe more as a contemporary. So we'll talk about the thriller first. Do not know what it's about. Don't ask me. I don't know. I never know. I just buy the books because the covers are cool, and look at that one. It's called The Girls Are Never Gone. It's by Sarah Glenn Marsh. There's like a corpse hand on the front. I think that the cover is stunning. I don't know. Oh, it actually seems more like it's gonna be paranormal. I didn't read very much. I just saw supernatural and that's it. Here it is, one of my YAs. My son also pulled this book from the TBR jar. And then the last book that we're talking about is apparently one that is so very heavy that I'm glad that I pulled it with this mix of books that I've already talked about, because I know that I'm gonna need like a palate cleanse on either end, and so I think that some of these books will be a good fit for the palate cleanse of The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. I remember this going around booktube in like 2018, I think, and being so just like enthralled with everyone like rating it so highly. I want to make sure that it was in 2018. Yes, okay, this book was published in 2017, so it had to have been 2018 that I was seeing. 2017, 2018 timeframe that a bunch of people were talking about this on booktube. It is very heavy. I looked at the publication page and I saw emotional and other things in the description. I know that I am going to probably sob my eyes out when I read this, and the last time I said I'm probably gonna cry during a book, I did cry. So this is it. That's all I have.
One more thing that I very briefly forgot to mention, we are going to be
reading People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry for the Murder Row Book Club Book of the Month in January, which is also a physical book that I own through Book of the Month. So that is one more book off of my physical TBR down. I mean, there is another one. We're not talking about it. I hope that you enjoyed that little stream of consciousness that was this TBR jar pull video. We're gonna just be filming over here for sit down videos like this. I have a bunch of vlogs to come. Stay tuned for my December recap. It's not gonna be a ton of books that I talk about for December because December was a very, very busy month for me. And then my husband surprised me, so I didn't do very much reading while he was here visiting, obviously. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below. Tell me if you've read any of these books, and if so, which one do you recommend that I go for first? Please don't forget also to subscribe to my channel. And if you're watching this and it is 2024, I want you to know that I probably have at least one TikTok posted in regards to books, because I am trying to branch out into the world of book talk to put my hot takes on there. And yeah, that should be it. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you all very, very, very soon. Goodbye.